Hello, my name is Zane Gazaway. I am nobody important, but I am a messenger. And this is a message of warning and hope for the survival of the human species, at least on Earth. We are living in very special times. These are the times of revelation. Everything that used to be hidden, ignorant, and even top secret is now being quickly revealed. I'm here to give you a glimpse of what is to come, and to give a message of warning based on my vision dreams of the future. How much do you know about our universe? Beyond the Earth, maybe the moon. It's increasingly in the news. There are all sorts of bodies out in space, all hurling around in space and time. Some have caused major extinction events, such as happened 65 million years ago on the Earth, which destroyed the big dinosaurs. There are all sorts of things that we are finding out about that were always mysteries to humankind. The demise of the large dinosaurs is something we discovered a while back, but even bigger things have been discovered in the last 10 years. Such an impact, although not by a meteor, is going to happen to the Earth in about 16 years. It will not be an impact on the Earth, but I have lived through this cataclysm, and the news is bad. There's a reason I've been overwhelmingly depressed at times in the last 10 years since I was woken up. This is the reason. The good news compared to absolute oblivion for our species is that whoever survives will be assisted and go on to thrive and restart the species at the next level. Even though most of the surface of the Earth will be destroyed. The mission I've been given is to make the number of survivors of this cataclysm as large as possible. A scientist named Paul LaViolette wrote a book about the event I dreamed of many years ago. I dreamed it before he ever wrote the book. His book, about his discovery and all the results of his research, is called Earth Under Fire. I have lived many snippets of my whole life up to this point in time and long after this through sleeping vision dreams. The event that Paul LaViolette has determined happens in a galactic cycle every 13,000 years, and is predicted will reoccur in about 200 years, will actually occur for us in approximately 2032, in about 16 years. You'll know it has arrived when the sky is on fire. Suddenly, like the flipping of a light switch, things will become dark and the sky will be on fire. It's approximately in 16 years. The event that Paul LaViolette has determined happens in a galactic cycle every 13,000 years, I call the galactic pulse. It's part of the dynamics of the physics and mechanics of our galaxy and evidently of all spiral galaxies. The bad times that are coming will be helped by those building solutions for the one world government, which will be a technocratic meritocracy. The climate warnings have not been nearly severe enough. Global warming is going to get much worse than they predicted. The events they're predicting in 100 to 150 years will be here in about 10 years. So by 2026, very bad climate problems. I will miss oranges. That's partly because the bees are gone too. But the galactic pulse is a little known result of the physical mechanics of all spiral galaxies. In our own Milky Way galaxy, it occurs approximately every 13,000 years. When you see the whole sky on fire from millions of bits of grit, sand, and pebbles hitting our planet's atmosphere at significant speed, you know then that you have less than 4 days to get sealed up deep, deep underground. You need to get down in caves, tunnels, access tunnels. You got to be 200 feet below the surface, though, minimum, with rock, solid rock between you and the surface. About 4 days after the sky starts lighting up, a nuclear event hits. I believe it to be a solar flare, triggered somehow by the gigantic lane of dust connecting the Earth and the Sun during that time. There does not seem to be a long-term radiation danger afterwards, so it does not seem to be the result of mutually assured destruction or MAD. Do not accept the worldwide banking chip, which will be required by the one world government. Everyone who has the chip embedded in them, any place in their body in 16 years when the galactic pulse hits, will die. Horribly, in just a few hours. Billions in the past. lifetimes have died. Anyone who has the chip in their body at all when the galactic pulse arrives will die in about 4 days after it hits. There actually is great hope for rescue. We are actually watched by superior beings who disguise themselves among us. The Bible calls them angels, but they're just ETs. They're people like us. And they got to the party a couple 100,000 years before we did. Do not accept being chipped with this electronic chip. It is prophesied in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, to be the mark of the beast that controls all buying and selling. The beast is the government. The beast is the symbol of the worldwide government. Anyone who has the chip any place in their body when this galactic pulse hits will die. These beings are dedicated to assist us, to help us, just as we help lower species. They have extremely large and well-equipped ships. I rode in one lifetime that was over 50 miles long. They're starships that easily traverse thousands of light years in just years. We went about 8,000 light years to the new Earth in it seems like about 4 years. It might be a little longer. They are waiting to help us. And they will not do that kindness if we continue destroying the planet and each other like rabid dogs. If we're idiots, they will just step back and cry when we die. Regardless of your opinion on the religious question of the mark of the beast, I can personally assure you, anyone who has the chip in their body when the galactic pulse arrives in 16 years will die. No exceptions. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I saw a person who had the chip die in front of me. Do not accept the world banking chip, even if it is absolutely required. Do not take it. They will only help us if we quickly do an about-face and dedicate our lives to peace and sustainability. We must also exalt the Creator, or at least stop denying God's existence, the majority of us, if we want to continue. If the majority of humans on the planet Earth do not do that, in 16 years when the galactic pulse hits, the ETs will not save us. But if we do that, they will save us. They are anxious to save us. They know all about the pulse, and they help throughout the galaxy, lower species that don't know how to protect themselves from it. I know they exist because not only do I have the memory of hundreds of vision dreams of my interactions in the future with these ET beings, I also actually met one in real life in 1978 when I was 17 years old. I've foreseen that the only way for humans to continue, even in that very small region that is not destroyed on the Earth by the flare or whatever, is with the help of these much more advanced ETs. What will happen for whatever number of humanity's remnant remains is that many will be relocated to other planets, mostly the new Earth, which is about 8,000 light years away. Wonderful place, very old planet. Hard to find rock on it, because it's so far down. None of whom ever have taken the chip will survive. Their bodies will be Folgers crystals under ice within a month after the pulse hits. So this begins the third epoch of mankind that will start virtually from scratch. Certainly on the new Earth we start with almost nothing, with a lot of help from the ET angels. This will especially be true of the faster-than-light experience, which we cannot generate. It's far beyond us. It is the only way we can be transferred. We have to be ferried in their gargantuan spaceships. So you see, there really is hope. But not if we keep sticking our stubborn necks in the proverbial sand and ignorantly claiming that you don't have to acknowledge God and His existence is not possible, and you don't have to read anything somebody claims He is communicating through. Well, maybe not. But if the majority of you don't turn, a couple million people out of 7 billion is all that will remain. The choice is yours. I'm just the messenger. You can kill me or you can take heed. Goodbye.